There's nothing that you want that you don't have right now, is there, really? I mean, you don't think about things like that. You don't want a sailboat.
What I'm missing now is more privacy than I'd like. I would like to be alone more than I am. Like the phone rings too often. There's too many cameras.
Today is the 1st of March, and I don't really know what the point of this video is.
Today is the 1st of March.
Today is the 1st of March. Today is the 1st of March. Today is the 1st of March. Today is the 1st of March. And once again, I'm back here talking about how long I've been doing this series. I've now been doing this for 5 years, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. Documenting my life for 5 years has been very interesting for myself. Before doing this episode, I've just rewatched all the past episodes just to sort of look back how much has changed. And it's interesting watching the first couple of episodes. You can sort of tell I have no idea what the series was ever going to be, and then out of nowhere it starts transforming into this thing. I always tell people who watch the series, watch from episode 21 onwards, because that's where it sort of gets the correct pattern. But obviously it's nice to look back. I was just a kid in sixth form, my first year, when I started this series, and it was just me filming my friends, hanging out at beaches, going for food and birthdays and stuff like that. Whereas now it's more, I feel like, does focus on what the title of the series says, what I'm thinking about. I've definitely been really happy with the past few episodes I've done. I'm trying to really make this series more like you're watching a film rather than just some man blabbing to the screen about his life. And that's why I add those montage segments, because they're just a lot more entertaining to watch to a general viewer. Recently, I've been doing really well. Everything's been good. As I stated in the last episode, things have really came together for myself, and I'm thinking more logically, and I'm having just a better time with myself as a whole, enjoying life a lot more. And I do think after time the reason for that was simply it was my old job and uni at the same time. The stress of the two was just a nightmare for myself, and now having dedicated weekends off sort of has got me in this great mindset, and being more creative. I've been working heavily on my music at the moment, and it's sort of why this year I haven't filmed anything up until this point, and I probably wouldn't have filmed anything unless it hadn't been today. My music, I'm trying to go for an album at the moment. I'm collabing with quite a few people on there to help with some verses and stuff on the album. And it's really coming together. I'm looking for a summertime release, and I've said that before with the Isolation album I was working on, but I basically cancelled that to work on something a bit more unique. The only thing that's changed is that I should be going back to America this year, and I'm going to do the video for that one this year a little bit different to the other two I did a few years ago, more rather than just filming each day and making it a big long vlog. Also doing the sort of talking segments I do when I have friends and it's like a little interview. I want to focus on the friendship I've made with them, but that's all coming soon. I've recently had been sort of falling in love with a select few albums and listening to them on repeat, and they're albums I would consider that make me feel really good, and make me feel a bit more creative and a bit more upbeat with myself. I don't have many moments in my life now that I sort of feel down anymore. The change was just such a drastic change for myself, and I'm on such a positive outlook in life. It's wonderful. It's lovely. So the albums I've been listening to recently that I want to discuss are, first of all, MF Doom's Food. This album is one that I've always known, but it wasn't till Doom's passing that I sort of started listening to it on repeat. And it's strange how a death of an artist can make you appreciate their work a lot more. And this album is utterly fantastic. Great tunes on there. And all around, it's pretty much a perfect album, I think. You've got the little interlude segments and stuff with some great things. I've also been listening to Haim's Women in Music Part 3. This was just a feel-good album as a whole. I love the album artwork. I think it's wonderful. I think it's pretty unique, and it's got that retro sort of feel to it. And the album also brings that then along with it, with just the majority of songs being upbeat but talking about quite serious topics. The next album that I've been listening to on repeat is The College Dropout, the recent by Kanye West. Genius came out on Netflix not too long ago, and I watched all of that in its entirety. I thought it was pretty good. I thought the final part was pretty weak, but the first two parts were great, and seeing The College Dropout being made was lovely to see, especially just on someone filming on a mini disc camcorder, rather than there being this whole professional aspect to someone filming, making an album, you know. So it got The College Dropout playing again, and it makes you realise the documentary and that album, just how much Kanye's changed for the worst, I'd probably say, and just how much you appreciate more of his older stuff now, which was completely unique at the time. And then I've also been listening to Wings' Wildlife, probably not one of the most critically acclaimed Wings albums, but that turns, I think, 50 years old this year, and I got into it just at the end of last year, and there are some fantastic songs on there and fantastic love songs that really make you feel good and nostalgic for old times. And whilst I've been listening to that album, I've been thinking about my friends in uni, who I've actually managed to see now a few times since I've left uni. But you know, those songs will come on when I'm driving up to see them in Cheltenham, and I'll feel all wonderful, and it sort of gets my mindset really nostalgic to embrace that small time I've got with them again for a short while. But it's also made me just nostalgic for old things, just things I used to do. You know, it used to be so easy for me to just skip school and skip uni and go out with the camera and take things, whereas now I've got a dedicated job. I can't do that, and I'm not complaining about that, but I can't do it as much. And I'm now in this position when I'm making these episodes, I'm really thinking about the location and how I'm going to shoot these episodes. I really want to have a more cinematic approach to these episodes. I don't know if that's going to show this much in this episode because I haven't got that far yet. So I hope you come with me on this journey to see if we do get that accomplishment. May not, probably won't, but you may like it. So thank you very much for 5 years. I can't thank you enough. To be honest, like, this isn't for anyone else other than me. It's a series I have made for myself to look back on when I grow up. You know, even now when I look back on older episodes, I'm feeling a little slightly nostalgic, but I think when I sort of maybe get 30, 40, I'll be so glad I've filmed these episodes, because I have so much I've documented of things I've done, and obviously as, you know, time goes on, your memory deteriorates a bit and you sort of forget the little niche bits, and I'm very glad I filmed the majority of my life of things I've done over the past 5 years, because I have it for myself, and who knows, maybe I'll have one day children that I can show them and be like, this is what I did with my life, you know.
Cosa vuoi dire, giovane?
Не знаю. Думаю, что мне бы хотелось сказать им только то, что чтобы они умели больше находиться в одиночестве. Любили бы быть наедине с самим собой почаще.
Welcome back to the episode. Today I'm joined by...
Ollie Ross.
Today we're going to be talking about films that we've seen recently that have had a big impact on us, and ones we've seen this year so far. At the start of the year we both went to see Licorice Pizza, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I absolutely adored the film. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked the way it was shot, I liked the soundtrack, and the overall storyline was nothing major happens, but it's just feel good. You had controversial opinions on Licorice Pizza, didn't you?
It's a disgrace. It's about, if you've not seen the film, it's about a paedophile, but it just glorifies it. But the reason they can get away with it in this film is because the paedophile's a woman, and the subject is a young 15-year-old bloke, and she's what, 25?
30.
She's 30. If it was the other way round, if that film had been made and it was a 30-year-old bloke and a 15-year-old girl, you would not be saying it was a feel-good film. You'd be saying, what a predator. This is so fucking weird. And it is weird. It's weird.
And after you brought that point up, I do agree. If it was the other way round, it would be weird. I think there are a few films that do that the other way round. I think Morgan was telling me about a few examples, but I don't know. I think that film purposely, it very much tries to dodge that question, so you don't really question it while watching the film. But because you knew it, but because I'd brought it up to you before we'd seen the film, because you wouldn't have known what the film was if I hadn't mentioned it. Because I brought it up to you, I think that made you feel a bit more on edge about it.
You can tell anyway. She fucking, what, does she meet him in school?
She does meet him in school. Yeah, you can swear.
Oh, nice one. She meets him in school. She literally meets him when she's taking pictures or something, taking school pictures.
Yeah, it's headshots, isn't it? Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
in the school, a student, and that's when she meets him, and she just falls in love with him.
Yeah.
A child.
Either way, the way it was shot, I liked
feel
it.
Good for me. If that makes you feel good, there's something wrong. It's not a feel-good film about paedophile, is it?
What film did you watch not too long ago that you said was really, really good?
I'm pulling up the letterbox because I can't remember.
So the reason we started, I've made a promise to myself to watch more films this year. Last year I only watched 63 films in total, and I felt a bit disheartened by that considering I did a film degree, and the moment I left uni I stopped watching films. So Ollie's got Letterboxd now, which is the reviewing app. So I've started reviewing on there regularly now, and so's Ollie. And so far this year I've already watched 40 films.
40?
Yeah, which I was quite happy. That is a considerable change in comparison to last year. And that's not just because I'm going to my mate's house to watch films that they've chosen for me. I'm going out my way now to search for new and unique things.
17 films I've seen this year.
And what ones have sort of
stood out to me?
Yeah.
Good Time.
Yeah, that was one I recommended, didn't I?
Yeah, that's good.
But you love Uncut Gems as well.
I love Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems is banging. Place Beyond the Pines I watched with you.
We watched that together as well. That is one of my all-time favourites for many years.
New films or can it be
anything? Any films?
I watched Parasite again. I love Parasite.
Yeah.
I watched Uncut Gems as well, like the day after we watched.
Good Times.
After we watched Good Time.
We saw Belfast together.
Belfast.
What a monstrosity that was.
It's got 2 stars.
Yeah, we both gave it 2 stars.
2 stars on the letterbox.
It's just boring.
It is just boring.
There's nothing really going on there.
Yeah, you think it's building up to more than it does, and it's just boring.
Yeah, I totally agree. Belfast was a big letdown. What have I seen this year? Can you go on mine? Yeah. Little Miss Sunshine. What a fantastic film that was. A really feel-good story. All of them are sort of having these depressed moments, and they all come together as a family. Absolutely adored it. Thought it was one of the that's a film I rank really high now. And the Before trilogy, I fell in love with that. I wouldn't stop talking about the Before.
About that. Did you watch them all in like 2 weeks?
I watched one each month. One.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, it wasn't.
25th. I watched one each week. Sorry.
He did love those. I might have to watch.
I think they're great. They're great love story films, and if you're looking for that, and the sort of the fact that they are, each of them are set 9 years after the other, and they were filmed 9 years after, it's cool to see the thing. I think the first two are far better than the third. The third is more depressing and kind of sad, but the first two are fantastic, and the second one had me really emotional more than the first one did, to be honest. I think the second one is my favourite out of them. I also watched the new Batman. You haven't seen that yet?
Not seen it. I'm going to see it today.
We won't talk too much about that then, I think.
Spoilers.
I've been watching some Eric Rohner films. I watched A Summer's Tale recently. I quite like that. Eric Rohner films are very sexual, I would say, but some of them are a bit weird. But A Summer's Tale was pretty nice, pretty sweet, and entertaining. And that's pretty much it. That's probably much all that's.
Bring up a topical one. Will Smith.
Oh, you
Pursuit of Happiness. I watched the other day for the first time.
Oh, you watched Pursuit of Happiness? Yeah.
Emotional film. I was welling up. Let me tell you, it was good actor, strange bloke. Mrs. fucks about.
So
good guy.
Yeah, we've been watching films, and sort of it's giving inspiration then to do this, and we found this bus today, and it seems like a prime location.
James Horsey is too scared to go in the bus. Right. James Horsey doesn't want to go in the bus.
I don't want to go in the bus because I didn't think it would be a good shot. But that's
we can't go to the bus for trespassing. Oh, I don't want to go in the bus. Oh.
Well, we're not trespassing, by the way. There was a sign that says we could walk in here.
Sort of.
Anyway, that's the end of that. I think we should.
It's been lovely speaking with you.
Walk off our separate ways.
What, we're gonna physically walk?
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna walk up.
Yeah. Hold my beer.
Alright, he's about to perform a trick.
I'm gonna make this beer. Glug, 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 glug. Love you. Mwah. I'm gonna move away now.
Being brought up one way and trying to see another way is very difficult.
Since gaining this new state of mind, I've been questioning where do I go from here. It's simply a difficult one to answer. I recently turned 22 and celebrated it with the ones I love the most. I know I'm not that old yet, but for some reason I feel it. What do I do next? How long will I stay in this position? Am I happy, or is life just less shittier than before? The other day I spoke to some friends from university, talking about how I should move to a city and have a change in pace for once.
The next station is Notting Hill Gate. Change for the Central Line.
But I've just settled back down. Is now the time to move on? I shouldn't be worrying about the future so much. I should live in the moment. Because once this moment's gone, it's not coming back. How can you enjoy the moment if you're worrying about what's to come or what's in the past? The people around me at the moment are all that matter to me. They've really brought me out of my shell, and that's such a great change. However, I've been awfully tired lately. Whilst I'm happy, I'm struggling to relax. Can't quite seem to put my finger on how to do that. Maybe I need a holiday. I think I need a holiday.